Good evening. Happy Memorial Day. I hope everyone is enjoying the holiday and being safe, most importantly. I'm your host, Dr. Renee, and obviously you're here, so you must know. It's like, no, I'm joking. But we are here live on Facebook. So hello, Facebook family. We're on LinkedIn. So hi, LinkedIn family. And we're on YouTube and Periscope as well. So hello, YouTube, and hello, Periscope. So today we are talking about how to get the COVID money. There is lots of money out there. There's loans, but there's also grant money. And I realized that a lot of people didn't know about this money. And I wanted to make certain that we understood where it was and how to go get it. Also, Dr. Randy is going to cover some of the stimulus money that if you're not a small business owner, you're not a solopreneur, gig worker, or 1099 worker, self-employed, you can still, we want to make sure you understand how to make sure that you do get your stimulus check, possibly checks. So thank you so much, Dr. Randy, for joining me this evening.
Hello.
So Dr. Randy, can you tell everyone, because not only is she a pediatrician and phenomenal at that, the reason I asked her to come today is because she knows about money. So Dr. Randy, can you please tell everyone a little bit about your background?
Yes, I will. So I'm Dr. Randi B, MD, a board certified pediatrician and financial wellness expert, where I provide your RX to wealth and financial well-being through my coaching programs, my book, Ladynomics, A Woman's Prescription for Wealth and Financial Well-being, which was a #1 Amazon bestseller in early last year, and through my coaching program. So you're probably saying, like, why? She's a doctor, she's a pediatrician, she's talking about finance, how does that all work? Well, prior to me becoming a pediatrician, I worked for 14 years in investment banking. I worked for two of the top firms in the world, Morgan Stanley and Citigroup. As an accountant, my last gig was at Citigroup when I was a vice president. I walked away from all of that, and I went to med school and I became a pediatrician. But like last year, I know it sounds crazy. See, but
yeah. Do what is your passion. I have no problem with it.
But last year, after talking to friends and, some of my good friends are physicians as well. And, we talk a lot about finance because, some of us have tons of school loans and we're trying to navigate this way. Some of us wanted to buy homes and do this. And what I just realized, a lot of us don't have, our financial background is lacking. Some of us did not grow up in homes where we would sit around the dinner table talking about the stock market or savings, the importance of savings. I know my family, we were just trying to get by. I was raised by a single mom. My father was disabled. So even if he wanted to contribute and help, he couldn't because he really just was on survival mode. And so a lot of the things I had to, figure out, before med school, I was doing very well. Homeowner, I still live in the house that I bought when I was 29. Nice 401k. I mean, doing no credit card debt, no debt really. And then I went to med school and everything just went like.
Welcome to my world.
Everything just went. So I am kind of just drawing into my former background, my former knowledge base, and trying to get back on track and, just trying to bring others with me and teach them what I know that I'm actually applying in my life. And that's it. So that's what I'm doing. That's what the book is about. That's what my coaching program is about. And I like this stuff. I enjoy it.
I mean, and who said you can't do everything? You can do a little bit of everything. I have no problem with that. I understand. You can. I am a true believer. So first of all, let's start off with those that are not like us that have all these side hustles and stuff. Let's talk about the people who just want to, they're stuck at home because their jobs have, furloughed them or something. Let's talk about the stimulus checks.
Right. Okay. So before we get into what's available for small business owners, if one thing about this CARES Act that passed, I think it was the last week in March, they provided stimulus checks to individuals who hit a certain threshold. So if you made under, and I'm just going to go back to my notes to make sure I have this information correct. Some of you might have gotten this money already. Some probably are waiting still. But what it did is it gave Americans a one-time payment of $1,200. Okay, if you made, if you were a single person and you made under $75,000, and you got some prorated amount if you made between $75,000 and $99,000. If you are married, you receive $2,400. If you made under $150,000 a couple and $199,000, you got some sort of payment. Now, if you were head of household, you got some money as well based on some income criteria. So that's what came out. I would say most people might have gotten that money already. If you didn't, maybe it has something to do with how you file taxes, or maybe you didn't file your 2018, your 2019 taxes. 2019 was, the deadline was extended to July 15th, but if you filed your 2018, they were still going to, use that as the basis. The only people who were not able to get that stimulus is anyone who was dependent on someone else's tax return. So if you're wondering, make sure someone didn't claim you, because that might have happened. You probably didn't know about it, but you may have if you filed. So that was the direct payments. So the other thing is unemployment. So if you were unemployed, and the great thing about the CARES Act, if you got unemployment, you qualified for unemployment whether you were employed with a company or whether if you were self-employed, which has never happened before. If you were like a gig worker, that never happened. And what was great about this package, about this part of the bill, on top of what your state would qualify to give you, like here in New York, the top dollar amount was like $506 or $504 per week. That's if you did the maximum, and you could go on the website to kind of find out how much you were going to get per week. But say you were in New York, you were at that top income, whatever, and you qualified for the $504. On top of that, the federal government was given an additional $600 per week. And that was to go for 4 months. That, I believe, ends at the end of July. So April, May, June, July, that makes sense. So for 4 months, you got, say if you're in New York, you got $506 or $4 plus $600. So you were getting $1,100 per week, which is $4,400 per month. So for some people, that was more than what they were making at their job.
Exactly.
It was the reason why, because they wanted people to stay home, with the virus, trying to cut down the spread of the virus. That's the reason why they did that. There is another stimulus bill that they're kind of working on to maybe try and extend the $600 per week. Those things are still in the works, but even after the $600 per week ends from the first stimulus package, the CARES Act in July, your state can extend your unemployment benefits for like another
year, I think it is.
Yeah, 13 weeks of unemployment insurance is extended. So I think like for New York, you get a total of 39 weeks, which is almost a year. Right. And a lot of times what happens is when you get to that point, you might be able to have it extended some more. Back in the 90s, when we had the bad fallout from the crash of 87, they were extending unemployment for I know people who got it for up to 2 years because the market was so, the economy was so bad. So who knows, that might still happen because everything is dependent on, the control of this virus. So some other things that came up through this stimulus package, Student loans, if you have student loans, if you're an entrepreneur, but you have student loans, you were able to defer your student loan payments through September 30th. Okay, and deferment is not a forbearance. A forbearance is when you ask your servicer to hold off on collecting payments, but that money, like the amount that's due or the interest that accumulated, that accrues, is added to your principal balance. So say you have a loan that's $100,000, and during the forbearance period, say you asked to hold off on payments for 3 months, and during that time you accrued $6,000 in interest. Now your loan is $106,000 that you have to, pay interest on. But this is a total deferment. No interest is calculated on the balance. No reporting due to, no reporting to your credit bureaus, which somehow or another, some glitch happened. People were getting bad notifications. So make sure you check your credit reports, but nothing like it's supposed to be as if you paid. So that's the other thing. And another thing that will help, maybe even business owners, like if you have a business, but you're working, you have like a 401k, you could take out a loan up to $100,000 if you have that in your account, up from $50,000. And so those were like the main provisions for individuals.
Gotcha. So I think you said it, but it's $1,200 for single individuals, yes. And then couple we get $2,400, and then for every child it's $500, right?
Yes. I forgot about that part.
Yeah. So that's the stimulus money, and that money is going to come to you probably the way that you received your taxes. Yes. Although I am a direct deposit girl and I got a check.
You did.
I did. Weird, but I got a check.
Check
in the mail.
But you know what? If you were the type, because you have some people who are super old school, and they receive checks for their refunds. You can go into, there is a website where you could go in and update your
information or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I was okay with the check. It came. Look, it cleared. It cleared. We're good. And I think I got my check relatively early compared to like when they came. I got mine kind of early.
Yes.
So for my fellow entrepreneurs, so if you're a solopreneur, if you're a small business owner, if you're a gig worker, people want to know, what's a gig worker? Gig workers are those people that do Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats, Postmates, Grubhub, DoorDash, anything, Instacart. My new best friend, Instacart, Amazon Prime, anybody who does anything like that, that's a gig worker. Us freelancers, because everyone knows I do freelance journalism stuff, we are more on the lines of 1099 workers,
right?
Because we usually receive a 1099 from wherever entity that you worked for, publication or news, is it a network, whatever. You're going to get a 1099. And then, of course, like I said, small business owners and then the solopreneurs. So for all of you, there is money that is out there to help you to, one, keep payroll, because we don't want the business to shut down.
Right.
So there is specific money for restaurant owners.
Right.
And it's a lot of money, actually. And so what we noticed, Randi and I both noticed, and I was telling her earlier that we were hearing about all this money, but we weren't getting the money. If you all know what I'm talking about. I know I have a mixed audience.
90%.
Yeah. So
minority business owners could not tap in to the programs that, I will talk about in a, whenever we're ready.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons why we did this, because I wanted to make sure that you understood that you are eligible, because there's a lot of reasons that, honestly, even the one money that I first got, because I got that money before I got the stimulus check, the one I told you about. Yes. So even that I was not going to apply for, and somebody else was like, yes, you should. And so I did. And then the stimulus check, I did not, I didn't think I was going to do, because I thought it said you had to have filed 2019, and I hadn't filed yet.
Right.
And so someone else told me, they're like, no. And so sure enough, so That's what I'm saying. It's all this stuff, you know, you don't know the information. I wanted to bring it someplace where we would know the information. So first of all, there are two men in our community that are trying to definitely help us to get this money. Magic Johnson, who is a Spartan like myself, go green, and Diddy. So Diddy started a website. It's called OurFairShare.com. And you can go to that website, and he is working with some banks to ensure that you get the money that you're supposed to get from, whether it be the PPP. What does PPP stand for? You think I'd have wrote that down?
The Paycheck Protection Program.
Yes. So if you need to pay payroll still, you know, then you would need that. You would want that money. Now, I'm hoping Randi knows, because I didn't quite understand. But apparently that money is a loan, but it can be forgivable.
So yes. Okay. So you have two programs. You have the Paycheck Protection Program, which is the PPP. Okay. That's for business owners who have like a staff, less than 500 people, more than one. And that's a forgivable loan. You can borrow up to $10 million. And you know, there's all kind of stipulations, but in the end, it's supposed to be forgivable after a certain period of time. Then you have the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, emergency loan, and you can borrow up to $2 million, but that is not a forgivable loan for any dollar amount over $10,000. So say you got a loan for $500,000, 10,000 of it is like a grant. So that's yours. Anything else above that, you have to make, you have to pay back. Okay. So those are the two main programs. And what Diddy's program is, the plan is to help assist people, business owners, apply for that PPE.
Yes. Yeah, so you can go to his website, OurFairShare.com, and he is helping people to apply for this money.
Yes.
Magic Johnson has a company that he owns that is working with banks to ensure, because apparently with the PPP, if you have a relationship with the bank, that is the fastest way for you to be able to get that money, is to go to the bank and do it directly with the bank you have a relationship with. Well, Magic has relationships with banks, and so he has mbecp.com. You can go to that website, and he will help you to work with his banks and to get that money for your business. So kudos to those two for that. That was amazing. Now, Mark Cuban, if you guys watch Shark Tank like I do, Mark Cuban posted a tweet on May 20th, so that wasn't that long ago, and he said, if you are a minority-owned business, a woman-owned business, and he even said, even if you're just a business that's struggling, if you put your information and tell your story, he is going to have people reach out and try to help you to apply for this money. You guys, there is $3 billion that had not been touched.
Yes.
$3 billion that had not been touched by anybody. And so you want to make sure, I mean, if they're going to give the money, we should be there to collect it.
We need to be at that table to collect that money. And one tip that, I'm in all these finance groups, and one tip that people have been saying, go to smaller banks. I don't know if credit unions can tap into this, but like smaller, maybe regional banks, as opposed to the Bank of America's, the Bank, the Chase. Go to smaller banks. I think you could do this through PayPal as well.
Yes, PayPal definitely is allowing you to do that as well, if that's where you do your business.
So, that's an avenue. And just make sure you have all your paperwork together, because apparently that's another reason maybe some individuals or some businesses have been denied, because all the paperwork, all the information's not there. But definitely, $3 billion is a lot of money. That first set of money went within very quickly. So this is another opportunity. So go out there and, get what's yours and what you need to keep your business afloat. So I know Dr. Renee and I were talking about, so, we have Diddy and Magic Johnson who, offering their help, and Mark Cuban, but there are tons of grants out there. Just in my little search that I did, I came up with 18 grants that's available for women and minority minority entrepreneurs. Verizon has one. There's a company called Hello Alice. Sarah Blakely of the Spanx. Yep. She's awarding grants to at least 1,000 women entrepreneurs in the US. The deadline for that is August 2020. Okay. I mean, there's tons here. What is the other one? Let me see. Verizon. I said Verizon. If you're in the fashion business, the Council of Fashion Designers have grants. Tory Burch Foundation is also working with entrepreneurs. Shea Moisture. I'm a Shea Moisture girl. I love their stuff. They have a relief fund. So just, be proactive.
Yeah. And FedEx has a grant, and they just opened today.
Yes.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I just heard about that.
Open today, meaning go right now. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're lucky because I put all the links in the description box below.
Yeah.
It would be too much typing for me to do it on Facebook, and I didn't want to type while she was talking or while I was talking. But if you're on YouTube watching, I literally put all these links right in the description box, and I'll get the links from Dr. Randi, and we'll add those to them. Yes. I'm thinking I might even make a PDF, and I'll send out to my email list if you get on my email list, because I mean, the worst thing you can do is somebody have money and you not go get it. I saw recently. Yes,
as a result of it. That's terrible.
That's crazy. So there was a church here in Chicago that has food. And I'm not talking about just a bag of food. They have boxes that have fresh meat, produce, and whatever, and other perishable items in the box. They have so many boxes. I want to say it's 1,000 boxes, and they haven't even been able to give away 800. But if they don't get them all, they will lose the opportunity. So this is what I'm talking about. The same thing with that. I was like, well, shoot, I don't want the church to lose this opportunity. Let me get somebody to go get me a box so I can help, because so that's the thing. Go get this money. If you don't need the money, that's great. But please advise somebody else so that they go get the money. It might be your favorite restaurant that you're advising about.
Right.
It might be, look, I sent text messages to to the people that take care of me and make me look good. I said, do you know about this money? Because I know that they are self-employed.
Right.
From, head to toe, my hairs, my lashes, my makeup, my nails, I know they're self-employed.
And so we want to be able to go back to them.
That is my point. Exactly. I want to be able to go back. I do not want the doors to shut on the shop. No. I don't want anything to happen. So I was letting these people know because I wanted to make sure that they could stay afloat in this time. So that's what I'm saying. If you don't need it, that's fine. But please share this video across all platforms and let people know, because this is important information. Another thing I wanted to say, so there's unemployment, like we said, and in certain states, I think it'll probably roll out across the country, but only certain states have the pandemic unemployment assistance. It's PUA. So Illinois is one of them, California, I think Georgia too. And like I said, I'm certain that it will roll out, but if it has not rolled out to your state, that pandemic unemployment assistance is specifically for self-employed, gig workers, 1099 workers, solopreneurs. It is specifically for them. So that is unemployment for you. Now, I will tell you, full disclosure, I applied for unemployment and did not qualify for whatever reason. But when I did the PUA, I did qualify. And PUA was not available when I applied for unemployment, but then it became available and I saw it, I applied. And just like she said, the CARES Act, they sent an email after I qualified for the PUA. They sent an email and said, oh, you're going to get this amount every week up until, I think it said July 25th. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, okay. And the other thing is with the unemployment, I think for Illinois, it said until April of 2021, you would be able to collect.
Oh, so nurses extended much more further than New York. I think New York is 39 weeks, but I have to look that up because it might have changed.
Yeah. And then the other thing I want to make sure people understand is you can get back. So some of my income changed, and it changed like back when this started, right? So when you apply, you'll see it allows you to take credit for that as well. So as a matter of fact, yeah, retroactive. So last night I sat there and actually certified for the past few weeks that I had missed so far. So so definitely make sure you pay attention and make sure you go and get this money.
Yes.
I'm telling you. And then I didn't realize about the student loan thing. I bet, and mind you, because I am honest, Abe, I've been paying timely still.
Well, you can.
Guess who I'll be calling tonight, if not tomorrow, and telling them,
because that's 6. I mean, even if you do it now, this is May, June, July, August, September, 4 months. That's 4 months you can use to increase your emergency fund, right? It's no detriment to you. That's
right.
You can reallocate to something, because a lot of us don't have emergency funds.
Right.
So why don't put that money? If you're paying $1,500, that's $6,000 right there. If you're paying $1,500, that's something you can boost up your emergency fund, because we say we should have 3 to 6 months of expenses, of our income to cover expenses, and a lot of us don't have it.
Right. So, like I said, I'm blessed that I was able to keep paying, but I'm glad I know this now, because there's no harm in me not paying. So I will call them and I will make arrangements, because it was a direct, it was a automatic payment thing. Yeah. So I will turn that off temporarily and tell them when we can turn it back on. Right. But that is good information to know. Like I said, that FedEx Small Business Grant, National Association for the Self-Employed, that opened up today. And that gives you, I think, money, plus it gives you like a lot of FedEx services for free. Yeah. And if you are shipping stuff, then you want those services. If you're someone who has to do a lot of printing, you want these services for free. So you want to definitely do that. I also know that you should definitely work with your small business development centers. Yes. They have them across the country in most cities. Yes. Definitely. And then you can always, like I said, that link is in the description box. You can click and you can see the links are in the description box. Somebody just asked a question. The links are in the description box on YouTube. Go to the link, go to the YouTube link, and actually YouTube, you can go right here. And I have it right on my site. And you'll be right there. The YouTube video is right there. So yeah, the small business development centers, they can help you a lot.
They're amazing. They are very amazing. And the SBA has their own like little loans and grants and programs that you can, like, if you already had a loan with them, they also were making provisions so that you could defer some of your payments or reducing interest rates. So definitely reach out to them. I know my SBA is literally like 5 minutes away from where I live now. And I've used them in the past when I was like years ago. And the counselor was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So definitely take advantage of them. And maybe even your local colleges, they may have virtual, online business centers, that kind of thing. You just got to do a little legwork.
Did you talk about the Cartier Women's Initiative grant?
Which one?
Cartier. I know you said Shea Moisture. Did you say Cartier?
No,
okay. So that's another one, the Cartier Women's Initiative grant. Then there's also the startuprunway.co. And then there's a website, grants.gov, and there is the second one down was economy relief something. But you can find grants for all sorts of things. So definitely, look at these sources and utilize these sources. I'm telling you, go. What'd you say?
That's a small.
Oh, I forgot that link. I will get that link for you because so my new thing now that I have time, I've been watching all of Mark Zuckerberg's lives. And so in one of his lives, not this last one, the one before this is when he announced that he was giving this money. Yes. So Facebook, I'll tell you about Facebook. They are giving money worldwide. So it's not just US. They are actually, you can apply anywhere in the world. And they are giving money. So, and it's not a loan. This is grants.
Yes, money.
So, you do not have to pay back. Right, don't have to pay back. So I will definitely get that link. But yeah, he announced that, like I said, not this one. I forgot what he was talking. Oh, they opened up this new thing, Facebook Shops, which I'll talk about that in a minute too. But when they talked about the Facebook Messenger rooms, that's when he announced this money. Facebook Shops, if you are somebody who sells products, Facebook Shops is free $99. Don't cost you nothing. And it's going to get you in front of the Facebook audience to sell your products. If you have a Shopify store already, you just have to click a button basically, and you'll be connected to Facebook Shops.
I have a Shopify. You put it in the links. Yeah, okay, I'm going to connect that.
So Shopify, if you go to Shopify, even if you go right now, because I've done it, you can click, it says Facebook Shop. You click on that and they will, it's working with Facebook. And it will, do whatever it has to do on the back end, and it's some approval process has to happen. Also, because Facebook owns Instagram, remember you had to have whatever thousands of followers to be able to sell on Instagram. Not anymore. He's trying to help people make money. So you can sell on Instagram too. When you do this Facebook Shop, it'll also give you the opportunity to sell on Instagram. So, so that's all these people that sell clothes and shoes and cups and hats and t-shirts, all of that stuff you guys can sell for free on Facebook Shops. Of course, his business is that you'll buy ads, and that's his thing. You'll buy ads, and that's how he would make money. He's not worried about charging right now, charging for this service. So let's use the service, you guys, because if we don't use it, we'll lose it, definitely. So definitely use this service and sell your products with Facebook Shops. And so it's going to be rolling out in the next, few weeks, he said. But I tell you, I've been to Shopify. I have a Shopify store. Ask drrenestore.info if you would like to buy one of my lovely mugs. And I have some other tumblers and stuff. But he said that the Facebook Shops, it will roll out, because I haven't seen it where I could purchase something from anyone yet. But I know that when I went to Shopify, I saw and I clicked on the link.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I just upgraded my Shopify store, so I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely check that out. I don't see, the only question we had was the links, and I answered that. Does anyone else have questions? I'm going to look, because we've shared this a lot of places that questions aren't going to show up here. Oh, somebody asked, where are you reading from? Or maybe they're asking me. So she has her own list, and she'll send me the links, and I will put them in the description box on YouTube as well. And I was reading from my iPad, which, like I said, all of the information on my iPad is put in the description box below. Somebody said, it works. My company took advantage of both PPP and EIDL. Oh, so we didn't say. So I took advantage of the EIDL. Of course, Dr. Randi had to explain to me what I did. I just did it. So as she said, less than 10,000 was a grant. Anything over that, you have to pay back. So I don't have to pay anything back. I didn't take out.
I got money too from the EIDL.
Awesome. Somebody said they're going to rewatch this when they leave work. Let's see. Eva said this makes sense. Yeah, so if you know anybody who is, actually, we talked about individuals up front. So if you're an individual and you work for someone, you need that information with the stimulus checks.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and the student loan information, because let's face it, a lot of people have student loans, not just MDs. A lot of people have student loans. So that information at the front was great for individuals. Then on the back end, if you know small business owners, if you know entertainers, people who get paid because they work, and when they don't work, they don't get paid. Those are self-employed people. You know, solopreneurs, 1099 workers, your gig workers, because they are people that, for a living, they do Uber, Lyft, or whatever. Those people need to go get this money, because I can only imagine. I haven't left my house 8 weeks today.
No.
And so I can only imagine, because I'm a walker, and then at night I take Uber or Lyft. I can only imagine how much lower their volume must be.
New York City, you go on the streets of New York City and it is empty.
No, I've seen pictures of Chicago,
but
I've seen pictures of Chicago downtown, and I don't live far from downtown, and I mean a ghost town.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not sure. Like I said, I think these people that Uber and Lyft is their main money. they definitely need to know that they qualify. And it's not difficult. It's not difficult to fill out. But if you need help, there are people also to help you. Exactly. So if you need help, the help is free and it's there. And if you don't need help, I'm telling you, if you go to the website, it's very, very, very simple, self-explanatory. I will tell you that I had applied for unemployment and literally the debit cards came so fast, I didn't know what it was.
That's good, because I know here in New York, it took people a long time to get on. But the wonderful thing is it's retroactive.
Right,
so
yes.
You might be struggling just, for a couple of weeks, but you're going to get all your money eventually. Yeah.
And I mean, when I tell you I didn't know, I was like, what the heck is going on? It's just like, I said, what is this? And I'm about to throw it away thinking it's some credit card, And,
oh my God.
And then, because it didn't have information in there, another letter came and that's when I put 2 and 2 together. No, you know what happened? I went to the website for unemployment for something else.
You found
I saw it up there. And I go, oh, that's what that card was. So I prefer direct deposits to this debit card. So I've changed everything now. And you can do that. It was very simple. You can do that on the website. Go ahead.
The only other tip, if you're doing the PPP again, and you haven't gotten any luck with, maybe larger banks, definitely try some of the smaller regional banks. You might have a better chance. PayPal again. And one thing I want to say is going forward, make sure you have a relationship have a banker. Okay. Even if you don't have like a big loan or something like that, go into your local bank or wherever you bank, talk to the people there. Cause a lot of times, so sometimes it's just who you know.
Right.
And they might be able to help you in a way that that helps you propel you to the next level.
So this question, can contract workers apply? Those would be 1099 workers, wouldn't it? That's what I thought. So yes. Mm-hmm. You receive a 1099 after every job that you do. Yeah. So that would make you a 1099 worker. So also with the banks thing, let's support our own. There are Black banks out there and they are participating. They have access to these funds just like everyone else does. And they wouldn't mind the 5%, I think is what I read that they would get. They wouldn't mind it. So let's try and support the Black banks. I think Diddy's program specifically, I think he was working with Black banks. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So make sure you do that. The other thing I wanted to tell you, the link it's in every one of my YouTube videos, but there is a link. I have a link and there's all these different apps that I have on my phone that I use to make money in my sleep while I'm not thinking about it. Maybe it's because I went grocery shopping and my groceries got me money back. Whatever it is, it's really great. It's like I said, it's a no-brainer and it's leaving money on the table. Why would you do that? And I'm sure Dr. Randi is very familiar with Acorn.
Yes.
I use Acorn. I think Acorn is phenomenal. Acorn literally rounds up my purchases on my debit cards and it invests the money.
Yep.
So the money multiplies actually pretty quickly. Before you know it, you look at your balance like, oh my goodness, where'd this come from? But it's because it multiplies because it's being invested.
Yes.
And so then I also have a direct deposit that I do to Acorn every week as well, just to keep it boosted and going. But so that's another great place. But I have links to everything because I think you'll get a free $10 if you do my Acorn. I'll put that link I'll put it right here. But if anyone has any questions, you need to type them in now because we're going to log off in a second. And if you have questions and we're already logged off, you can reach both of us. Dr. Randi BMD, I will tag her in the post. And then, of course, I'm at Ask Dr. Renee. And you can ask us. Like I said, I am speaking straight from experience. So is she. Not to mention she also has the financial background. But from experience, it was really not difficult. I'm not a financial person at all. But I went and I filled out the information and, I got the results that I wanted. So, and as we were saying earlier, that EIDL, it was hilarious how the money just popped into my account and I didn't even know it did.
Yes. It's not every day, initially what they did, which was so phenomenal. If you applied early, you got a grant. They were given, and whether you whether you were approved or whether you got the loan or not, whether you were approved or disapproved, you got $1,000. Okay, so I mean,
yeah, and that's what I did. Somebody posted in our group, and I was like, "Oh, let me go right now," and I went right and typed my stuff in, and then forgot all about it. And when
this applies if you're a landlord, if you have rental property, and you feel like you're not going to get rent, this applies to you too. So don't talk yourself. At least try.
Yes.
Just go for it. And if they tell you no. I mean,
right. And I also wanted to say what we did not touch on was people who are paying rent, mortgages. We didn't talk about that, but you need to talk to your banks, talk to the landlords, because I know that many of the states, you cannot evict people during this time because neither in Illinois. You cannot, because everyone's going through the same thing.
But landlords, if you do have a mortgage and you have to read the fine print and ask all the questions. But if you do have a mortgage and you cannot pay your mortgage, most banks, I know Bank of America is doing, that's who I have, my lender, Wells Fargo, they will defer your mortgage payment for like 90 days. Now, the key is you have to find out what the terms is. Bank of America, after the 3 months, you have to make that payment unless you do some further negotiations. Some banks will tag it to the end of your loan. You have to pay it back. It's not forgiven, for sure.
Right.
But they will give you a reprieve for a couple of months. And I think they're in discussion. I think New York, Governor Cuomo, that moratorium about evictions is another 3 months, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Right. I know they're still working on it because, people are still out of work. 36 million people, probably 40 million at this point, are out of work.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I hate to say, because it's Memorial Day weekend, but I've seen pictures and videos and stuff. So I hate to say, but I'm not sure that we'll be coming out of this anytime soon.
I know exactly what you're.
But this is going to be good information for you for the second phase of this. This is so ridiculous.
And I'm going to put my doctor's hat on right now. And I wrote this. I told someone that I said the sooner or the more compliant we are with wearing masks and with doing what we need to do. I understand about rights and all that, but let me tell you, and this is fact, this is not fear mongering. If there's a spike, if more people die from this virus, we can have another shutdown. We can have that, and then we're going right back to square one. When if we just do everything correct the first time, we might be able to get past this. So I want to see people working. I want to be able to go out. I want to hug my friends and my family and my mom. I want to be able to do that. So, I just believe for everyone's benefit, let's just do what we can to mitigate the spread of this virus and to prevent people from getting sick. That's it.
Exactly. And she's exactly right. It's no secret. And if you look at my channel, you'll see I have a video title. I have a whole playlist called Coronavirus, but there is a video that says my personal PSA. My PSA, my father had a stroke March 24th. I can't go home to him because of the virus. And so I need us to get it together so that I can go home and visit this man who has went through brain surgery without his only physician daughter there. Like that doesn't make any sense. You have a physician in the family advocate. You brought her to life, and I can't even be there. So it's been a lot of phone calls. Yes, but I would really like to go.
Exactly.
And I want to go, and I don't want to go and risk anything. So I don't want to go and then be nervous that I'm going to get my mother sick or something. So I want to be able to go and be okay, because I would have to take public transportation to get there. So I want to go and be relaxed and feel safe and secure that we have this under control, and we should be doing, we're allowed to leave the house now. Everything's good. But, if you guys keep playing, like I said, it's what is today? Today's May 25th, the unofficial first day of summer. Yeah, we won't have one. So
Because we don't know what the fall and winter is going to bring.
Exactly. So, so I hope this information has been very helpful. I know it's been helpful to me. So thank you, Dr. Randi. And you guys, please go get this money. I mean, not $3. They have $3 billion that has been untouched. Go get your money. It's your money to have. Go and get it. And get the help. And then, look, and then you can hire Dr. Randi to help you to finagle your finances. Now that you might have a little extra money now, thanks to the government. You might have a little extra, So we want to make sure we go to Dr. Randi's website. I put that in at the very beginning. I'll put it in again. It's ladynomicsbook.com. And
my website is drrandibmd.com.
Okay, 1 second. And drrandibmd.com. So definitely go visit her. And like I said, you get this little extra money. Then you need to figure out how to invest it and where to put it. And she can help you to get all that navigated. Make sure you have the right insurances and stuff and all that great stuff. So thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. This was awesome. And you guys know where to find me. I'm going to ask Dr. Renee on everything: Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and of course, my favorites, YouTube and Facebook. And we are this close to me getting paid on YouTube. I want those YouTube checks. So you guys, come on, watch the shows. If everyone watches the show right now, thank you. If you just watch right now, by the end of the week, I could have my numbers. So yeah, I've actually grown it quite a bit just during this time, but this was already a plan I had in place for 2020. Look, I had no choice but to be here in front of the computer all the time because of our circumstances. So now I'm closer to it than I think I would have been otherwise. But I thank all of the people who have subscribed, because I've had almost 100 new subscribers in the last 30 days. So thank you. I've had 30,000 views in the last 30 days.
Wow.
And I've had like 900 hours watched in the last.
That's wonderful. I gotta get tips from you, Dr.
Oh, not a problem. So I appreciate all of that, and I just need you guys to do more. And I think this is a great video, though, that you guys need to make sure you spread the word about this, because this is information that you are going to need. And if you don't need it, you need it because you need to tell one of your service providers about it. So whether it might even be your doctor. Your doctor could be self-employed.
Yes.
Private practice, exactly. It could be the person that owns your building. All of these people are the people we're talking about. It will directly affect you. Because if they have to go up on rent because they're, struggling in another area. So this is why this is important information for everyone.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of your holiday.
Thanks for joining. Thank you, Dr. Renee. This was wonderful.
You're welcome. Thank you.